This was sent to us by our friend at Freelance Mikey. This is from Columbus, Ohio. Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther announced last week that the city of Columbus would remove its statue of Christopher Columbus from the steps of the city hall in order to bring awareness to the cruelty brought upon indigenous people. This week, thousands are hoping to erase the city's connection to Columbus's legacy even further by renaming it. The most popular suggestion? Flavor Town, in honor of Columbus native Guy Fieri. 32-year-old Taylor Woodbridge started a petition to rename the city to Flavor Town in honor of Fieri, the celebrity restaurateur who was born in Columbus. Fieri's use of the expression on his various shows on the Food Network has become his signature catchphrase. Woodbridge described Fieri as, quote, a very charitable man, pointing to the fact that the famous restaurateur has helped raise more than $20 million for restaurant workers during the pandemic, and he's officiated more than 100 LGBTQ weddings.
That's incredible. Oh my God. If they should go just full out, replace the statue with the statue of Guy Fieri.
Yeah. Just his head, though, with the spiky hair. And that would also help keep the pigeons off the hair. Yeah. Because it's already spiky.
Exactly.
All I want, and if anybody listening can help me out with this, whenever things go back to some sort of relative normalcy, if there's any way I could go to a gay wedding officiated by Guy Fieri, that's now on the bucket list.
I love the arc of Guy Fieri. For a long time, he was just this easy punchline, and as time has come around, people have been like, hey, actually, this guy, kicks fucking ass. I love Guy Fieri.
Yeah, well, because people, if you sit down and really think about it, you're like, well, I do love hot sauce and fried stuff, and this guy's the patron saint of both.
Yeah, he's one of two men in Hollywood who has an age-appropriate wife.
Oh, yeah.
It's him and Ricky Gervais, and that's it.
Wow, I didn't even know Ricky Gervais was married. Shit.
Yeah, well, it might be his partner of 30 years or whatever. Okay. But yeah.
Does Ricky Gervais wear Crocs? Because Guy Fieri is also the only celebrity I know that actively wears Crocs.
God, maybe he does.
I could see it.
Yeah, he seems like somebody who would actively mock it and do it.
Yeah, he's one of those British trash people that you see in Disney World where they're burnt tomato red and yelling. Let's see. This is the quote from the guy organizing the thing. That kind of optimism and charitable work embodies more of what Columbus, Ohio is all about, rather than the tarnished legacy of Christopher Columbus. As of Sunday afternoon, more than 17,400 people have signed the petition, and it grabbed the attention of Budweiser, who offered to give out free Bud Light seltzer to the entire city if the name is officially changed to Flavor Town.
Wait, hold on. What's a Bud Light seltzer?
It's just what it sounds like. It's like they're trying to do the White Claw thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So. How new is this? This is new since White Claw.
Oh, this just happened,
right?
Yeah. This is probably... I bet it caused the pandemic, actually.
Oh,
that's about when it started. It's probably end of Q4 2019.
That truly sounds like it tastes like the shit that they squeegee into the drain on the floor in the Civic Center after just a fucking, I don't know, a Larry the Cable Guy show or something.
Oh, see, I was going to say it's, how whenever there's a big hurricane, Anheuser-Busch always starts canning water to send as a relief. Mm-hmm. The Bud Light Seltzer is just the wash when they wash out the tanks from beer to water in the event of a natural disaster. It's the byproduct. Like white chocolate.
Yeah.
You ever heard that? White chocolate is actually just the disgusting slurry that's produced in the manufacture of milk chocolate.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They literally are marketing runoff, factory disgusting runoff. But also, the thing I love the most about this is that Budweiser, they didn't offer to give out Budweiser.
Yeah.
They offer to give out Bud Light Seltzer. So they're like, yeah. I mean, it's cool that you're doing this for indigenous people, but we're not giving away the good stuff.
The good stuff being Bud Light.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Welcome to the goddamn Corona Diaries. My name is Rivers Langley, and we've got our friend Luke Jensen here.
Hello.
Yeah. Taking you all the way to goddamn Flavor Town. Shout out to Freelance Mikey for sending that. That's hilarious. I hope that happens. I don't know what the odds are, but we'll see. Stranger things.
I want to see an angry mob put that statue up.
Yes.
Of Guy Fieri.
The opposite?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing like that I know of, there's two. There's a town in Texas called Dish that named themselves Dish after Dish Network. Because Dish Network was Will we'll give everybody free TV if they name their town after us or something like that. And so, yeah, there's a town in Texas called Dish. And the other one that I know that's real famous, just if for no other reason, it's wrestling connotations. Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
What?
There is a town called Truth or Consequences, and it is named after what was originally a radio show and then later became an early television show. It's like a game show called Truth or Consequences, and they ran a promotion. They were like, hey, if you rename your town Truth or Consequences, we'll do a live show from there. And this little town in New Mexico that I think was called something like Springfield or something boring, renamed themselves Truth or Consequences. And you have to drive through it. It's very like South New Mexico. If you're going like across I-10 going across the country, you got to drive through it. And that story was so funny to a young Mick Foley that his first wrestling character persona, Cactus Jack, is always billed as from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, despite the fact he's from Long Island. So,
oh my God, I love that. I support more gimmick names for cities because who gives a fuck?
Who gives a shit?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus never got anywhere near this stupid fucking town.
Yeah,
who cares?
Yeah,
he sucks, and also they just named it for whatever. Plus, it would be great for Ohio State fans. Because they're, that's where they're based out of, so they'd have to adjust to being from Flavortown. Although most of the Ohio State fans I know probably wouldn't give a shit. Shout out to Zach Pugh. I've seen that man eat buffalo wings. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he loves Flavortown.
I mean, would they even identify with the city, or would they just call it the Ohio State or whatever the shit?
Yeah, they would just continue to call it and be annoying and have to pronounce the.
Yeah.
Coronavirus has killed another legend. Segway announced Tuesday that it is ending production of its signature self-balancing scooter, the Segway Personal Transporter.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, COVID took the Segway?
That's what I think. They say it, according to their official statement, they're like, this has nothing to do with Corona, but I'm like, I think it's probably, maybe Corona didn't help, but it led to them taking Old Yeller behind the barn and,
Oh, man. There's totally some companies that are using it as a cover where they were going to go under anyway.
Oh, totally.
Quibi, for instance.
Are they officially?
No, they're trying to, debt finance more shows and stuff, and it's like, what
Hell
the
yeah.
fuck? You're so far in debt, and you're not going to come out. And this was a terrible idea to begin with. And Jeffrey Katzenberg is just like, no, it's just it's Corona, Everybody's got all this time to watch content, and they realize that everybody else's is better. So, how's that fair to us?
Yeah.
How's it fair that everybody else has a better business model? It's fucking Corona.
This is a quote. Given our decades-long history, we recognize that this decision may come as a disappointment to our strong and loyal following among private owners who view the Segway as one of the most innovative creations of the 21st century, Segway President Judy Kai said in a statement. So, I mean, objectively the doofiest thing ever.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, I don't think there is a bigger signifier of someone being a doofus than riding around on a Segway.
Yeah, I mean,
a Segway is Paul Blart Mall Cop and Joe Bluth. That's
exactly. Yeah.
the two huge doofuses of the mid-2000s.
Yeah, I mean, truly classic doofuses.
Yeah, that's
and those were defining characteristics of who they are.
Yeah, it's the Segway.
When I think of a Segway, I think of Joe Bluth slowly backing away from the burning banana stand.
Yes, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, you mailed that insurance check, right?
Yeah, and then slowly zipping backwards. Which is great.
Yeah.
So when the product launched, the head of Segway said, quote, "This will be to the car what the car was to the horse and buggy."
Wait, when they launched, that's what they said?
That was when they launched the thing, I think in 2000. That was what they said.
Holy shit. Can you imagine being in LA, be like, yeah, I'm going to go visit my parents in North Dakota. I got a Segway.
Mom, Dad, I'll see you in 78 hours.
Yeah, standing upright, going 70 miles an hour.
But almost immediately, these predictions gave way to ridicule. Time magazine named it as one of the top 10 biggest tech failures of the decade, citing its inflated price point, $5,000 to $7,000, which... Fuck, that's crazy now. Imagine in 2000 money. That's fucking nuts.
Why do they call them that? Why is it a Segway?
It's a pun. I don't know. It's like to get you from one thing to the other.
Yeah, I guess, but it's spelled different, but that's never stopped a fucking dumbass startup before.
Yeah. Well, that's also, now a lot of people, that is how they spell Segway.
Right, yeah.
They will spell it like the scooter. TV shows and movies like Arrested Development and Paul Blart did nothing to slow Segway's reputation as being a plaything for doofuses. Segway was sold in December of 2009 to British entrepreneur Jimmy Heselden. And as funny as Joe Bluth is, Mr. Heselden provided by far Segway's funniest moment when on September 26, 2010, he drove his Segway off a cliff in West Yorkshire.
Wait, did he die?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Drove a Segway off of like a 70-foot cliff.
Holy shit.
Do you know
Like
about
on
that?
purpose, or he just fucking...
No, he bought the company
Yeah.
in December of 2009.
Yeah.
And then 9 months later drove his Segway off a cliff.
Holy shit. What happened to the company then?
I mean, somebody else bought it, I guess, and it just kept going. But
God, I really want there to be a chain of like mysterious deaths 9 months after everybody bought the company.
It's the Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you buy Segway.
But for like billionaires.
Yeah. If you buy Segway, you will die on a Segway. But yeah, no, I love that. It led me to a Wikipedia article that I really didn't have time to delve into, but I fully intend on and report back on this broadcast, which is it was listed under the category when you scroll to the bottom of Jimmy Heselden. There's just an entire Wikipedia of unusual deaths going all the way back to like, apparently Heraclitus, the famous Greek philosopher and poet, got dropsy and covered himself in shit and then got eaten by dogs. That's what I heard. So it's a great Wikipedia
And the guy
article.
who bought the Segway company made it into the same article as him.
Yeah. The guy who bought Segway made it into the same article as the guy who said you can't step in the same river twice. Yeah. Segway will cease production on their personal transport on July 15th, and 21 employees will be laid off in New Hampshire. It will continue to manufacture other vehicles, though. So they've still got those hoverboards and all the other like bullshit, but the big doofy handle ones that's no mas.
Oh man. The death of a legend. It's one of those things that it's absolutely shocking that it lasted this long.
It's 20 years.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I read it. It was like, founded 20 years ago. I was like, damn, 2000. Because I kind of vaguely remember my mom talking about it. Like, because it was an article in Time magazine and her just being like, oh, we should get one of these. And then we looked it up. We're like, oh, fuck, never mind. Like fucking $5,000 or whatever. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's so, I mean, some things are kind of obvious that they're not going to be the revolution that they think it is, like the Segway or Quibi, which will not last 20 years.
Yeah.
But, there's also like this corollary to like VR, which for years and years and years you've heard about like, oh, VR is, well, I mean, it's here, but it's it's going to be huge. And it's like, yeah, is it? I don't know.
Yeah. Because you do have to put a thing on your face.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like if Google Glass demonstrated nothing else, people don't want to put shit on their face.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. That was another flop and burn, the little fucking Dragon Ball Z scouter that they...
Yeah. I think the only time I've ever used both was it was the same day. It was when you, me, Lopez, and Josh Wallace went to the Google, the YouTube space to test all that shit out. And there was like this giant line for the VR, the Optimus Rift. What the hell is it called?
Oculus
Rift.
Yeah.
And I get up to it and the guy was just like, are you ready? And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, and as I was putting it on, I was like, yeah, I'm not really much of a video game person, so I just want to kind of check it out. It won't take long. And as I'm putting it on, he goes, oh, well, this isn't a video game. This is more like an interactive art display. And my joke was, I used to say on stage, the only thing I find more ponderous than video games, fucking art displays. Here we go. Put it on, and it was just like this thing where you're like bouncing off of like asteroids or something and like collecting dots. It was really bizarre, and it gave me a fucking bad headache. Yeah.
See, the few times one or two times that I've done VR, it's like, I don't know, I guess maybe it's just because it takes so much processing power to have a full 360 experience.
Yeah.
That the graphics end up looking like it's from a Sega Saturn.
Oh, yes, yeah,
and it's like, this fucking looks like shit.
Looks like Virtua Cop.
Yeah, exactly.
The one thing I would want it for is I do like that thing where it, does like the movie theater display and shows a movie.
Yeah.
But I would be so prone to just fucking lay down and just never get out of bed if I had that. At least with the TV, you have to actually sit up to some extent. You have to make some effort to look at the TV. With that, it's just just fucking put on the damn VR and just hit me with it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point, it's like you're getting upset that you even have to open your eyes.
Yeah. Because I saw I think it was season 1 of Dark Side of the Ring about Randy Savage, and they were interviewing his brother Lanny. And Lanny Poffo, the genius Lanny Poffo, has in his house a TV not dissimilar from this one, like kind of a bigger flat screen, like an older one that looks fucking heavy, mounted on his ceiling. And it was the most redneck shit, but ever since I've seen that, I have thought about it. And I'm like, I guess, but at least the Oculus wouldn't kill me if an earthquake happened, it wouldn't fall on me and smash my head. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll get one. Carter and I have discussed this, about getting an Oculus. I know he wants one for the same reason, just to be able to watch movies and shit.
Well, what are they? They're still, $500 or something?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're like just slightly... It's very similar to going to see Limp Bizkit. Like, that ticket was exactly $10 more than I'm willing to pay for something stupid. And that thing is exactly $200 more than I'm willing to pay for something stupid.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. People put mirrors on the ceiling and shit. Well, that's not really a defense.
Well, that's like a sex thing, though. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. I just want this is a laziness thing. I'm not trying to do more work. Just to look good in a mirror. No, the opposite. Less work. This one's real wild. This is from West Palm Beach, Florida. Pizza Mambo was temporarily closed down last Thursday after an inspection from the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation uncovered 27 violations, including mold, unsanitary utensils, rodent droppings, dead roaches. Also, there was a dead 80-pound iguana being stored in a chest freezer.
What the fuck?
So the health inspector comes in like, oh, God, you guys can't keep leaving the cups up on the paper towel rack. And what the fuck? 80-pound iguana.
This is also new information to me that an iguana can be 80 fucking pounds.
Yeah. Well, apparently they're all over this part of Florida. Like, Florida just has a rampant non-native reptile problem. And a lot of it stems back to just basically people will buy an iguana, be like, oh yeah, I got an iguana. And then it'll get too big. And then they just kind of let it out in the swamps. So there's just goddamn iguanas everywhere in Florida. And apparently, this one was 80 pounds and frozen in the freezer.
How much do you want to bet that like half of their income was charging neighborhood kids $5 to see the 80-pound iguana in the freezer?
You want to poke it with a stick? You won't bite. He's dead.
I killed it with a broom.
Caught it on the patio eating cigarette butts. A Pizza Mambo employee told the South Florida Sun Sentinel that the iguana was given to the owner as a personal gift for later consumption.
What?
Yeah, so apparently, like, I read you can eat the iguanas. There's like recipes and shit for like iguana burgers and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know. For some reason, it's weird because I've had alligator.
Yeah.
But with iguanas, you're just like, oh, they just look sad and they're just kind of droopy.
Yeah.
Like, at least with, like, when you're eating a gator, you feel like a sense of accomplishment. You're like, yeah, this prehistoric beast ain't shit. And now he's deep fried in honey mustard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like making fun of somebody who's like, I deserve it. And it's like, well, fuck, I don't want to. I don't want to eat your flesh now.
Yeah, come on. Did you ever see, you've seen Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, right?
No.
Ooh, man. Should do that for a Patreon one week. It is it's insane. It's Nicolas Cage, Fat Kilmer, are in, it's Werner Herzog directing a spiritual sequel to the Harvey Keitel Bad Lieutenant, but it happens in New Orleans, and Nicolas Cage is trying to bust Exhibit, who's like the big drug dealer, and it's completely fucking insane. But there is a scene where, because Werner Herzog has no patience for just like a standard cop talk, Val Kilmer and Nicolas Cage are having this very standard like stakeout conversation where it's like, yeah, I mean, the money's coming in, but we don't see the drugs. Like, yeah, he's been out, they're like discussing like when the drug dealer's been in and out of the house. And then Werner Herzog just gets bored with the dialogue and just pans over to two gigantic iguanas just on top of each other, and then like fades up some soul music, so then it just drowns out the boring conversation that they're having. It's so goddamn weird. But that might be the closest thing to an 80-pound iguana I've seen. Is Werner Herzog got the two biggest, gnarliest fucking iguanas I've ever seen for that weird ass scene. The best scene in the movie, of course, is he kills Exhibit. And then Nicolas Cage goes, "Shoot him again. His soul is still dancing." And then it cuts back, and now a guy who's wearing the clothes Exhibit was just wearing, it's just breakdancing. And then they shoot the breakdancer a bunch of times. It's absolutely insane. I love that movie.
Oh my god, that sounds like some weird Werner Herzog shit for sure, though.
Oh yeah. It's great. It's Werner Herzog cut loose on just a kind of standard sort of boring sequel that no one asked for.
I feel like a screenwriter writes a script. They do whatever prep, and then they show up, and then he just decides to do whatever the fuck, and then puts it in the final cut. Regardless of no thought of how it's gonna
right
fit into this overall narrative.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, you wrote all this dialogue for these cops, but I'm gonna put some iguanas and soul music in here.
I truly hope that those iguanas were just there, and just in the middle of the take, he just grabs the camera and just yeah. I find you boring. Can't listen anymore. Have you been following the Shake Shack situation? A little. I've read a bit here and there, but not in depth.
So we talked about it a little bit last week, but basically these three cops went to the hospital because they said their milkshakes tasted funny. Turns out there was nothing wrong with them at all. There was nothing wrong with the milkshakes. Not only that, they ordered them ahead of time, and they were sealed, and there's video of all this. So there's literally no chance they could have known they were cops. The whole thing was completely ridiculous. The three NYPD officers who claimed to be poisoned by shakes from Shake Shack's Fieri location, which...
Oh, no. Fine dining?
No. Financial district.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, calling the financial district the Fieri does not make us want to burn it down any less. But from the Fieri location last week, were never actually showed any symptoms of being sick, according to a new report from the New York Post. The whole incident was reportedly invented by the police labor union. The New York Patrolmen's Benevolent Association originally alleged that the cops had been poisoned after drinking Shake Shack milkshakes tainted with a toxic substance. In an interview with police sources, though, the Post found that the officers had ordered their shakes via a mobile app, meaning the Shake Shack workers could not have known they were serving cops. Video footage from the store that day shows that the milkshake machine had been cleaned just before the cops' order, which would indicate why the officers noticed an odd taste. Regardless, the officers informed their superior about the taste, who then asked them to check into a hospital and called for the crime scene to be set up at the Shake Shack location without the officers exhibiting any noticeable symptoms of sickness. Separately, though, a lieutenant officer from the same precinct reportedly shot off an email to the police union saying that the officers were throwing up, even though that never happened, prompting the union in turn to make the allegations about the poisoning. So the first one was the Detective Endowment Association. They declared that the officer had been, quote, intentionally poisoned by one or more workers at the Shake Shack. And then the Police Benevolent Association, President Pat Lynch, who's that dickhead who kind of looks like Fonzie, he declared that the officers came, quote, under attack from a toxic substance believed to be bleach. Throughout the course of the allegations, though, it appears that neither the supervising officers nor the union waited for any conclusive evidence to make the charge. The unions later deleted their tweets and issued statements walking back their discredited claims. Privately, they blamed the lieutenant who first raised the alarm. So that's hilarious, because it's why are you a union? Your whole thing is to fucking not throw people under the bus. Yeah. You just were like, well, it's actually that guy. Review of the incident and how it unfolded is ongoing. According to an NYPD spokeswoman, Shake Shack did not respond to requests for a comment. So, it turns out that whole thing was bullshit.
That is the weakest beta shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. My shake.
It tastes weird.
I'm gonna die. Yeah, that's that Pat Lynch guy is the worst. He's the guy that there was all those videos of Twitter of him under the bridge just being like, we are the only people standing between chaos and civilization. Like, he's one of those like real crazy cops. That was why Henry Winkler was trending on Twitter. I saw that. I was like, oh God, did Henry Winkler get COVID? And it turns out it was like, no, this asshole just kind of looks like him. And I was like, don't lump them. Henry Winkler's good.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, that's so fucking. Ugh.
I've got more like this because there's just
well, yeah, because there was also that cop who was like visibly shaken because she had to wait 5 minutes for her egg McMuffin.
Amazing. And the best part is when she's like, they brought me my coffee, but not my McMuffin. I'm like, that's so you don't leave.
Yeah,
that's what they do there. They'll bring out your drink first. That seems standard.
It's so, oh my God, it's so incredible that it's just like, has she never been to McDonald's before?
Right.
That's what happens.
At breakfast, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, McDonald's, and I say this, when I used to have a job where I'd have to go places in the morning, I'd never go to McDonald's because there's always a giant fucking line. Go to Burger King if you want fast service.
Oh, yeah.
Wendy's has breakfast now. No one knows about it. Go to Wendy's.
Uh-huh.
Fucking don't go to McDonald's and cry that it took too long. They always have a line. McDonald's has a line in the morning.
Yeah.
People like their breakfast.
Yeah.
That whole thread is hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy about that, though, is when you go through it, like, most of it is, like, people dunking on her, but there's, like, a good number of people that are like, I am shaking with rage at the way that police are being treated. Look at this poor woman.
Yeah.
Fucking kidding?
Yeah. It's like, dude, McDonald's be busy in the morning. Go to Burger King. That's what I always do. I don't like Burger King, but I go to Burger King because there's no line.
Yeah. That's at any time of the day, by the way.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a Burger King with a line since I was like 6.
Yeah.
Dude, there's at least 2 Burger Kings within like 8 minutes of here, and I've never waited behind a single car at either one of them.
No. I don't know how they stay in business. And my meal costs different things. Sometimes, because I started doing those Impossible Whoppers, right?
Yeah.
I like them. They're fucking great.
Yeah.
Because I always get that double Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like the price of a regular double Whopper. Sometimes it's like $15. Like they have not figured out how to charge correctly for that since it came out. I swear to God, it's a different price. I'm fully prepared to pay. There's like a $10 range.
I have a theory that they don't have a POS machine, that they just have like a small man standing on the counter that they ask questions to.
Yeah.
What do they want, boss?
But yeah, so hey, lady crying at the thing, go to Burger King. Do what normal people do.
Yeah.
It's not as good as McDonald's, but you save time.
Yeah.
This is this is sort of related. And this is right up the road. Thousand Oaks, California. A Black Lives Matter sign in Thousand Oaks, California, which consists of a tarp with the letters BLM painted on it, has been displayed along a fence on Westlake Boulevard for the last 3 weeks. It has been vandalized and removed several times, according to the Ventura County Sheriff's Office, prompting the owner of the sign to place a surveillance camera nearby. In the videos that followed, 60-year-old Darren Stone, an employee of the sheriff's office, was captured on camera slashing the sign with a knife on June 13th and then again on June 19th. So now,
as soon as you said there were surveillance cameras put up, I was like, it's a cop.
Oh, well, not just him. And by the way, that guy, he's not, well, he only works for the sheriff's office. He is the IT guy at the jail.
Okay.
So he's like, it's even worse because, at least if you get made into a real cop, you get to take your aggression out on people. This guy just has to take it on a fucking sign because he can't even make the beat cop role. So detectives issued Stone a misdemeanor citation for vandalism. He was also placed on paid administrative leave, pending both a criminal and administrative investigation. In another incident on May 31st, Craig Anderson, 59, allegedly cut down the sign and was going to remove it from the area when he noticed the camera and left. Anderson, an investigative assistant for the Ventura County DA's office, also received a citation.
Oh, God.
So far, we got a guy who works for the sheriffs and a guy who works for the DA.
Uh-huh.
And then, this is great, a third incident took place on June 11th when 58-year-old Jeffrey Moore... All these guys are 58, 59, and 60. It's like,
Yeah.
for something about that age, it's like, I don't know. If this was the Middle Ages, you'd be dead already.
Yeah.
I think we just have residual rage left over from modern medicine. This guy stops in front of the sign in a work truck and gets out of the vehicle and spray painted graffiti on the sign. The sheriff's office said, after detectives tracked him down using the company name and phone number, which were listed on the truck. So he pulls up in front of the camera, and then literally it's just the name and the office number of the company he works for, which is not dissimilar from a couple weeks ago when there was that maniac with the chainsaw screaming the N-word, and then he also was in a work truck with his name and phone number on it.
Oh my God. It's so amazing.
It's like, dude, I don't know.
Honestly, that is like the sweet spot age to be like a grumpy old out of touch man, but still able-bodied.
Totally.
To like get out and like, fuck up someone's property and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's
God,
like, you start getting too much older than that. It's gonna be like, I'll do something else. I'll harass people online.
You got like 5 to 10 more years of ambulatory movement, and then in that you could just get in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
That age, for some reason. My mom is, she's like an estate sale broker.
Yeah.
So, when somebody dies, their kids will come in and take all the shit they want from the house, and then my mom prices out the rest and then sells it, right? Mm-hmm. And I, in the time that I worked for her, you're dealing with mostly people in that age range. And whenever you have estate sales, they're just the most insane, entitled, awful people at that age for some reason. Like, they're just walking around. They're like, why is this $8? And I'm like, it's $8. If you come back Sunday, it'll be $4. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had one time a guy was going through the tools, because when you do those estate sales, the men head straight for the tool shed, and they buy up all the tools and stuff, the hammers and saws.
Fuck yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Fucking hell yeah.
Well, this is when these tools are made in America. Now they make them in fucking China. And this guy cut himself on like a saw and was just bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
Making no attempt to stop the bleeding, and was just like, literally, I was like following, it was like I was hunting him in the woods. Like, I was just following a blood trail around the house, and it was just getting everywhere. And it's like, how do you talk to a guy? Like, I literally was like, hey man, can you, I like gave him some, like a paper towel or something. And he was like, oh, I don't need it. As he's just bleeding on the carpet. And I was like, and I made him take it. I was like, I will fucking end you. In so many words. I said that. I was like, you either have to take this or leave.
Well, here's what you don't understand. They're from when men were men. When you cut your hand, you just fucking bleed in the house.
Yeah, and
until you stop bleeding. You die or you stop bleeding.
And that's why you get married. Is you have to have a woman follow you around and clean up your blood as you bleed on antiques.
If you're a little pussy who dies from blood loss, then you don't fucking deserve to live. All right? Men gotta be men. We don't die from pussy shit like blood loss.
I seriously think that's what it is. Yeah, I think about that all the time. I'm just like, why was he just bleeding everywhere? It's just gross. So this is from Sunbury, Pennsylvania. There is a very funny video that we will put up on our Twitter @TheGoodsPod that was originally posted to TikTok, which was shot last Sunday. It shows a man painting the phrase "White Lives Matter" on a fence in front of a house. The problem is he spelled white WIGHTE.
Oh my god.
WIGHTE. Like, the video is just awesome. It's just these people standing across the street filming him, and they're just laughing at him.
I think that might be how they spell like the whites in Game of Thrones, like the zombies.
That's what everybody was pointing out in the comments. It's like, this guy just watched Game of Thrones, and that's the first time he had to read that word. He doesn't read. Like, I don't know. My question is, when did huge racist people stop being able to spell?
Yeah.
Like, why is that? I think it's because Hitler wrote one book, and they saw what happened to him, and they're like, not doing that. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna forget what commas do.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh my god. Wait, how old was this guy?
They didn't know. It's just a video.
Okay.
You can't really tell. I mean, he looks, anywhere from like 20 to 40, that range.
Yeah.
But he just has his back, and he's just spray painting it on the fence, and these kids are just laughing at him from across the street.
Oh man. Do you think he ever had a moment of doubt, like in the middle of the G, where he's like, oh yes, and then just continues?
It's such a crazy way to spell that word. Wighte. Like, I could see if it was Wite, like phonetically, you missed the H or something, but that's like above and beyond, stupid.
Right. There's no, like, it's not even like it's spelled like Dwight, because he threw an E on the end. There's nothing that he could have confused it with. There's nothing.
Yeah, no.
He just fabricated it like, well, I guess the Game of Thrones thing is it. That's the only other thing.
Or the word tight, maybe. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but there's no E in tight.
No, but he gets like Wight, and then he's like, E. He just adds it very confidently to the end. Oh, yeah, I forgot I do have one other one because this one is insane. Michaela Johnson, a woman in Medford, Oregon, said that she was one of hundreds of marchers who took to the streets of Medford on June 1st to remember George Floyd, and police in Medford were facilitating the protest, she told a commission. But at one point, demonstrators turned onto a street where traffic hadn't been blocked off. Then she noticed a car coming at her at a, quote, less than comfortable speed. Video of the incident shows the driver of a bright yellow sedan. This thing looks like a fucking banana. On the side, it says the words, "The Maids," which is like an online maid service, and the words, "Referred for a reason." That car was keeping pace with the march, repeatedly blaring the horn. Johnson turned and stopped, holding up a sign. He then proceeds to drive his car right past me, hitting me with the front of his vehicle and again with the side view mirror. Johnson said at the meeting, "I could not believe this man would avoid slightly turning his wheel to not hit me." He then proceeded to try to drive through the crowd of peaceful protesters. The contact between Johnson and the vehicle occurred at a low speed, and she did not appear to be injured. Soon after, another protester briefly hops on the hood of the car, and the driver jumps out. A person in the crowd at that point can be heard shouting, quote, "It's Chris Luz! He's the mayor of Phoenix, Oregon!" So, at a Phoenix Commission meeting earlier this week, Johnson spoke directly to the mayor. So this woman who got run over basically went to this town and was like, "You fucking tried to run me over." The mayor.
Yeah.
The mayor of the town tried to hit her, who was leading the meter. Luz gave little reaction as Johnson recounted her story, other than to shake his head. Quote, "I have it on video. Stop shaking your head."
God.
Johnson said that Luz was unfit to lead the city, with at least one council member agreeing, quote, "I can't believe the actions that you took, nudging teenagers with your car, intimidating and threatening them for expressing their opinions. I think this is unacceptable behavior, and I want you to call on the mayor to resign tonight." Neither Luz nor Westover returned requests for comment, but the mayor gave no indication that he would resign. The Medford police told Washington Post that it had initiated an investigation into the incident. So the mayor of this town is now trying to run people over.
Holy shit. I mean, if it's going to be the mayor of anything, it's going to be the mayor of Phoenix, Oregon, though.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, I feel like in this whole thing, the combined shit show that is COVID and, you know, the George Floyd police riots, within that whole thing, I think the South is going to look worse for the COVID stuff, and the Pacific Northwest is going to look worse for the racial stuff. Because I think all of the shit that I've heard that's been just truly shocking has been Oregon and Washington so far. Which is really going back to their roots. You know, they caught a break in like the 2010s with Portlandia and people thinking that they were super liberal and cool up there. But it's like, no. Oregon is the only state in the union that was founded specifically to be a whites-only state. Like, it was founded by the KKK.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we're just getting back to normal.
Yeah.
We had a brief reprieve.
Returning. Yeah.
Where you thought, Portland was a city that was all about brunch. It's like, no, hatred.
Yeah.
Virulent racial hatred.
Oh, boy. Yeah. No, there was that group that tried to turn North Dakota into that a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that documentary.
Yeah. They really... But, man, they were so racist that even... North Dakotans were like, no.
Yeah.
And trust me, that's hard to do.
Right. Yeah. Oregon's kind of perfect, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's just like a stupidity to the idea of a Phoenix, Oregon. That it makes sense that guy is driving a car for an online maid service and tries to run over a teenager.
Yeah. Well, again, it's like, hey, don't put your business on the car. If you're gonna do some dumb shit, take your wife's car that doesn't have the sticker on the side that says where you work.
Wait, so the mayor works for an online maid service?
The car he was driving
was for the maid service.
Was a banana yellow. Also, that's the other thing. Is like, hey, you know how they say don't buy a red or a yellow car because it's really noticeable? Banana yellow. Like, neon yellow car. I guarantee you the only neon car in that county is driven by the mayor, and it says maids.com on the side of it. So it's like, all right, this could only be... Even if that... I love that somebody in the crowd was like, hey, that's Chris Luz, the mayor of Phoenix, Oregon. It's that somebody's that engaged... Like
that they fucking know who that is.
Yeah. Like I know who Garcetti is, but if the mayor of Auburn came up to me and slapped me on the face, I'd be like, I don't know this guy. Sorry. So I like that there's a responsible citizen there who can really go in on this guy. But yeah, driving a banana yellow, what looked to be like Toyota Corolla or something.
And they were not in Phoenix, Oregon at the time?
They were in Medford, which I think is right next to it.
Okay, because I was going to say, to not even be in Phoenix, Oregon and know who the fuck the mayor of that city is?
Yeah. They were in Medford, which is like southern Oregon. So right near the California border. Beautiful up there, by the way. I said this when we talked about the damn Antifa bus hoaxes and everything. It's sad because that area of the country is just stunning. Like the entire coast of Oregon and Washington. Unbelievable. But yeah.
I went up there for a week last year. Just because I had a flight voucher
that
was going to expire, and I was like, "Fuck, I guess I'll just fly up there for a week." And
that's right. Where did you go?
It was in Washington, a small city. It was a small place, like halfway in between Seattle and Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it was called. It was some small. Yeah.
I went up to Vancouver and then Victoria last summer too. It's just gorgeous up there. It's really a shame that it's just filled with racists.
Yeah,
terrible. Well, yeah, this is the last thing I got, and this will lead us into the jam of the day. And again, we did some work with this gentleman last week, but the time calls for it. I didn't know that at the beginning of this pandemic there would be two stories about Kid Rock's Big Ass Honky Tonk. Which is his restaurant in Nashville. But here we are. Kid Rock's Broadway bar packs in crowds, receives citation for COVID compliance violations. So this is from Nashville Eater. Kid Rock's Big Ass Honky Tonk and Steakhouse, alongside 13 other Nashville restaurants, received citations from Metro Public Health Department over the weekend for being out of compliance with coronavirus-related health orders. A photo of a packed crowd at the honky tonk caused a stir on social media over the weekend. The photo shows hundreds of people packed inside the lower Broadway bar without any of them visibly wearing masks. So I'll show you this and we'll put this on our Twitter. That's a photo of Kid Rock's Big Ass Honky Tonk from last weekend. And I will say, this is the first time we've made fun of it on the show, certainly before, but this is the first time I've seen a picture of the inside of it.
Yeah, let me see that again.
It is indeed a big ass honky tonk. I cannot tell a lie. That is a very large honky tonk.
Oh my God, what a bar that Kid Rock thinks is cool.
Yeah, exactly. Truly hundreds of people packed in this thing. Zero masks. Just awful. Dr. Michael Caldwell, director of the Metro Public Health Department, paid a visit to the Big Ass Honky Tonk on Saturday night after receiving a complaint about Friday's crowds. Kid Rock's Big Ass Honky Tonk was cited for being out of compliance with Order 6, which requires employees to wear face coverings. It's just over down there.
Oh my God.
It's terrifying.
They shouldn't even close those restaurants down. They should just lock them all in.
Yeah.
And then just spray paint like Dead Inside or some shit on the door.
Yeah.
Come back in a month.
So, in a press conference Monday morning, Metro Public Health Director Hugh Atkins said the department is currently investigating 500 complaints just from this weekend. They added that they are also available for walkthroughs of any business seeking help to be sure that they are operating in compliance with policies. Each citation results in a court appearance where a judge will then set a fine amount. So, anyway, that's what's happening with Kid Rock's Big Ass Honky Tonk over there in Nashville. And so I'd like to close out the show with our jam of the fucking day, Kid Rock's All Summer Long. Here we go. I pulled a couple of comments from YouTube that I was going to share from this song here. So let's go up here.
Would you consider this past his prime Kid Rock?
This is, I think, his last big song.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was, I saw quite
Early 2000s?
No, this is 2008, 2009.
Wow, that recent?
Yeah. Rock and Roll Jesus, because I was working at Mellow Mushroom. Because I remember, because whatever the first single of this album is, I don't know what it's called, but it's like, kind of a heavier track. It's sort of more metal-y.
Yeah.
But it's almost an exact rip-off of the riff for Lookout Mountain by Drive By Truckers, which is like one of my favorite songs. And I was like, you little fucker. You took the DBT riff, you asshole.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know how pissed I was going to be when I heard this, because I was like, oh, this is the worst song ever. Fuck you for, because I worship Warren Zevon and I worship Leonard Skinner, and you're disrespecting both with this trash. But this isn't about me. This is about the people. What the people have to say. This is from someone named Destroyer, and their their avatar is just a red pill, and it just says, "Marriage is no benefit to a man." The fuck does that have to do with this? Yeah, he's bad. Let's see. This says, if you're listening to this after 2 failed marriages, 21 years retired Navy, and drinking some black and tans, then you're cool in my book. That guy sounds really cool. Let's see. Makes me want to... This is from Dougie Johnson from 2 months ago. Makes me want to go to a wedding. Anyone getting married? From 2 months ago.
Oh my God, can you imagine dancing to this song as the first dance at a wedding?
Well, that's what we listened to. Me and Carter listened to American Badass on the last a couple shows ago, and one of the comments was like, "Play this at my funeral." And as Carter said, if that happened, Carter said this, and I will second it. If that happened, we would both be like, well, he was really the funniest person we ever knew.
Yeah.
I don't think...
Hard to disagree, yeah.
I want that.
Yeah.
Just play American Badass on my phone. But you have to play the version that doesn't say suck my dick. It says radio edit. Yeah. Like, keep all the cusses in there, but leave that. Let's see.
You know what this song reminds me of is...
Sweet Home Alabama?
Yes, it's clearly Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah, this is like when like a movie comes out after the Scorpion King called like The Arachnid Monarch or something. That's what this is. Yeah. When they're like clearly drafting off of it.
We said this is a Kids Bop for morons.
But it reminds me of the specific vibe of this time, which was like when viral videos were like weddings, but it was like suddenly everybody would like rip off their jacket and they're wearing like something cool underneath,
like,
and they do something like
Chris Brown or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, and this is this was I saw a lot of comments, and I'm like, I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah,
I have no idea how people remember this. They're writing theme for Backlash 2009. I'm like, how? Gun to my head, I could not tell you a single thing that happened at WrestleMania in 2009, let alone Backlash, which is like a 5th tier pay-per-view.
Yeah. Have you watched the WWE Spelling Bee yet?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Or they gave him like, had to spell like Uranagi and like fucking, shit like that. I'm like, come on. That ain't fair.
Yeah. I only watched like a couple minutes of it, but God, one of the commentators misspelled guillotine with like 2 I's and no L's.
Oh, yeah, Byron Saxton. Yeah, that was... Yeah, because all the other ones that got wrong were like... There was a lot of Japanese names. It was like, spell Michinoku, and you're like, okay, shit like that. But yeah, he got wrong. Byron Saxton fucked up guillotine. Let's see. This one is from Rose Kazmersky. She says, I really love this song. It is my favorite best song ever. I love all of Kid Rock's songs. Kid Rock sing very handsomely. Awesome. All right.
Okay.
This one is from Midnight Ghost 19. I still smoke funny things, and I sniff that devil's dandruff. Where the E at?
That devil's dandruff.
I've never heard Coke called that, but that's
fucking great. I'm incorporating that into my lexicon from now on, though.
I didn't think anything could beat booger sugar, but devil's dandruff.
The devil's dandruff is fucking great.
This is from Shim Brockenshire. I'm 23, and honestly, this song and music takes out today's music. Don't get me wrong, I listen to it, I still like it, but this is music. Today's artist could really learn a thing or two.
Oh my god.
It's like, hey kid, wait till you hear Warren Zevon.
Yeah.
This is from Retro Kid. My dad's worker went to a Kid Rock concert and he said, Def Leppard sucks, boy.
Okay.
I think everyone, because we've been trying with this podcast because we've been doing these like Jam of the Day things where we read the comments.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard finding the right songs. But so far, we've done Only God Knows Why, American Badass, and now this. Kid Rock fans strike the perfect balance of what I'm looking for in a YouTube comment of people that have apparently suffered some sort of massive head wound. And instead of going to the hospital, they just start typing on Kid Rock videos.
Yeah.
This is Preston Graham. And by the way, the name of the album that this is off of is Rock and Roll Jesus. Preston Graham from 7 months ago. You're not the rock and roll Jesus. There's no such thing. I don't know what that means.
Oh, man. I like that it's directed directly at Kid Rock.
Oh, most of them are. A lot of them are just like, I love you, Rock. I've always believed in you.
Do they call him Rock?
Oh, a couple of them, yeah. From the Only God Knows Why and American Badass ones, they were definitely addressing him like, love you, Rock. We used to listen to this song, tearing it up in the backcountry on my motorbike. That was one from last time, was people being like, we used to listen to this, tearing it up in the backcountry on my motorcycle. Most of my friends are dead from motorcycle wrecks, but I still love those guys.
Oh my god.
A lot of tragedy too in these comments. A lot of tragedy. Let's see. Oh, here's one that just well, kid, I was going to check out Nashville in October and check out some of the new restaurants down there. But unfortunately, something happened to one of my housemates. She was giving the staff a hard time and hitting on her, so that's why I can't make it to your place in Nashville. Angry face.
What? He's giving just personal plans to Kid Rock?
Yeah, she says, I was going to go to Nashville in October and check out some of the new restaurants, which I assume is a reference to the Big Ass Honky Tonk.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, something happened to one of my housemates. She was giving the staff a hard time.
What staff?
I don't know. There's a whole clause missing here.
Yeah.
She was giving the staff a hard time and hitting on her.
Wait, what? She was giving the staff a hard time and hitting on her?
This is like an MC Escher. You cannot figure out where the staircase begins or ends. Yeah, she was giving the staff a hard time and hitting on her. That's why I can't make it to your place in Nashville.
How is that related?
She's just wants to apologize to Kid Rock for a metaphysical conundrum that she's having where...
So, to give this a genuine effort at interpretation, the staff of some place that isn't Kid Rock's restaurant was hitting on her housemate. The housemate gave them a hard time back, told them to fuck off or whatever. And so now she can't travel from out of town to go to this restaurant?
Maybe I don't know.
That appears to be the train of logic, correct?
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah. There's a big chunk missing there, I think.
How far was she traveling from?
It doesn't say. That's all it says. I think this is a 500-piece puzzle with 499 pieces.
Right. To be clear, this restaurant is like a 3 courses for $14.99 type of place, right?
The Big Ass Honky Tonk?
Yeah.
I think it's just it's called the Big Ass Honky Tonk and Steakhouse. So I think it's probably a sit down spot during the day, and then it turns into a crazy Broadway bar at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of Hard Rock Cafe type vibes.
Oh yeah. It's actually right next to the Hard Rock.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is great place to take a shit, by the way. If you got to take a shit in Nashville, Hard Rock Cafe, unbeatable. They got individual stalls, floor-to-ceiling doors, sneak right in, sneak right out, and get to see all that good Jimmy Buffett memorabilia on the wall. It's perfect. That's my traveler's guide to Nashville.
Yeah.
So if you got to be on Broadway, I don't know.
Are there t-shirts still collectible? Do people still collect those?
Oh, there's gotta be.
Because I remember when I was a kid, that felt like it was like a thing, like having those Hard Rock Cafe t-shirts.
Oh,
with, like,
I had the one I got in Paris.
Yeah.
I thought I was so cool.
I remember the only one I ever went to was I went to the one in San Antonio once, and they didn't have one in my size, and so I bought one that was like too small for me, and I could never wear it, and that was like so upsetting to me.
Shit. This one is from Mason Kuhn. Says, never had a summer like this, but maybe someday if things don't get worse. Mason, no, buddy.
If things don't get worse.
This is from 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always got to be one of these in there. What I call someone writing a novel, just airing it all out. And this is what we'll close with. This is from Mick 21 Movie EP. That's his name, Mick 21 Movie EP. This is from a year ago. I really love to listen to Kid Rock, country, and similar artists. So there was one lovely Thursday afternoon, sitting at my desk in school listening to this song. But then, 4 minutes and 32 seconds into the song, my teacher is so stupid, she said to shut it off because this song is explicit. There is no fucking way this song is explicit because my teacher can be so annoying. She is such a bitch that she can suck a long one. LOL. This fucking teacher sucks like a bitch. I hope she does not see this comment from me, Michael. This is what...
He signed his name.
There's more. From me, Michael. This is what I would have said to her in a more respectful way. Quote, "This is one of Kid Rock's cleanest songs ever. I hope she quits her job so I can get a teacher who likes this song so I do not have to shut this good song off. That motherfucking bitch should go fuck off. That motherfucking bitch should go fuck off or quit her job and never come back. All Summer Long is a clean song, okay? Go to your husband, you stupid whore," and he spelled whore H-O-A-R. "Do you agree with me? Reply below."
Do you agree with me? Reply below.
This is so specific. It's like, I've never met your teacher, kid. I'm sure you don't like her.
Yeah.
It seems like you don't get along, but that's okay.
Holy shit, that's a work of art. It's those ones when they just get just perfect little spice at the end.
Oh, they just tell on themselves.
Just finish the dish like that.
Yeah. And you misspelled and whore, H-O-A-R.
Yeah, great detail.
Outstanding.
Yeah, truly a fleshed out character he's built there.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Hope you're, there's the little spice on the end of that song. Yeah. But yeah, that's a goddamn All Summer Long by Kid Rock, our motherfucking song of the day. If you're listening, you've got a song that's got funny YouTube comments, shoot them over to us at The Goods Pod. It's where you can find us on Twitter. Luke, where can people find you on the internet?
Twitter and Instagram at Luke F. Jensen.
And of course, you can check out me and Luke have a podcast with our friend Monica Scott, where we watch documentaries. It's called What Did You Learn? So people, if you don't know about that, listen to that shit. That's a real fun show. Hopefully we're gonna do another one of those real soon. You can find me on Twitter at Rivers Langley. Sam, of course, in isolation, a mere 50 feet away on the other side of the wall. We'll have Sam on. I'll give him a call later this week, but find him on Twitter at Slam Harder. Carter Glasscock, of course, quarantining on the other side of town. Carter_Glasscock on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/thegoodspod. Me and Dr. Pat are going to be watching an awful wrestling event. We're going to record that tomorrow night, and it's an awful wrestling event that is free on YouTube, so everybody can tune in. It's the UWF Blackjack Brawl, I think is what it's called. I just told Pat, I was like, pick something weird, and that's what he came back with. So that's actually what I'm going to be doing as soon as we finish recording this, and that'll be going up on Patreon later this week. So patreon.com/thegoodspod, $5 a month. Join the Tower of Power, get a bonus episode every week. That is the price of a cup of coffee in the big time. And we will see you next time.
it's not my day for you. Everything I've ever done, I've done on my own. You're like the rest of them, so leave me alone. Everything I've ever done, I've done on my own. You're like the rest of them, so leave me alone. When I am with you, I might as well be alone. If you'd show affection, you'd never hear a single moan from me.